Picture it. New York City, Sunday, March 23rd, 2025.
Yeah, still get me looking down the alley, like most of the alleyway down on
Oh, you weren't expecting dozens of furries on the High Line? That's fair. My mistake. Let's rewind to this morning. As dawn broke, my friends Astor, Walt, Ellis, and I piled into the silver deep freezer and set off on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And after a brisk cruise across state lines, we traded our car for a train car in New Jersey. By this point, we were buzzing with excitement, and not just because every one of us had guzzled an energy drink or two. We arrived at New York Penn Station and strolled over to the Moynihan train hall. As if the dealer's den had spawned at the table, various badges, cards, and even a goober strewn across signaled that we had found our pack. And while everybody was trading and acquainting and registering, we had outgrown the food court. So upstairs we went, and the group began to transform. The animals shed from their bags and came to life.
Thank you so much. This is my newest.
Anybody for New York City FurWalk who does not have a badge?
And once again, we had to relocate.
Gang, squadron, go.
Let's go!
So out the door we went and across the street to crowd the Manhattan West Plaza. Put together by Zane the Rito and Fane the Fox, dozens of animals showed up to this event, from canines to felines to birds to aquatics. They'd all come together for a tour of the High Line. There were many city locals and some travelers like my friends and I gathering to bolster the furry scene in the region.
Yeah, get the action shot.
I was right. It's grabbable.
That's Luke.
Beak on beak.
Blink already! No you. No you. No you. No you. No you. Come on, blink! When there's no brain cells up there, they don't know when to stop.
Monster Hunter now.
All I'm thinking about is peanuts right now.
This is the second New York City FurWalk.
Ellis, we're going to be walking first down the High Line and going over to Little Island. We're stepping off the High Line over there. Just as a reminder, as we're stepping off the High Line on 14th Street, I believe, we have elevators and stairs. And for any birds here, please take off your birds' heads when walking down the stairs.
Once everyone was settled in and acquainted, it was time to embark to our first stop, Dinosaur.
AKA the giant pigeon statue.
The birds. Birds in general, you know. Birds aren't real.
We're shooting the cameraman.
The massive aluminum cast sculpture is your typical street pigeon. It was hand-painted by Ivana Gorte, and it's the size of a T-Rex.
Who's using Zane's camera to do this photo? I know.
Naturally, the birds flocked first.
Whoa, there's a bird there.
Passerbys began to take notice, and the infectious energy of our walk had begun to spread.
Hey, what are you up to?
Scheming. Plotting to take over the city.
Yeah, hey.
I have two. Now it is really big. Now it's on you. It's on you. Oh wait, no.
But I gotta say, my favorite part of this trip had to be seeing the giant pigeon. Right outside of Moynihan train hall and right next to the vessel is a giant pigeon. Seeing it on your screen, but seeing it in person is a whole different story. Personally, at the fact that these statues are just so imposing and so huge. But I mean, it's amazing that something that big was installed on the High Line, and I'm impressed.
Position while I got it. It's like 40 degrees outside. You need a fan?
I'm sweating under here. Yeah.
Oops, sorry, ma'am.
The first stop was a hoot. Dinosaurs surrounded by excited chatter and shutters ablaze. To round it off, one final group picture.
Hi!
Where to?
That way.
It was time to depart once more, this time to the Hudson Yards. We assembled at Vessel, a gorgeous 16-story copper-colored observation deck conceived by English designer Thomas Heatherwick.
This is how they used to save video back then.
The crowd was blossoming around the courtyard, intermingling within and with the folks passing by. It was such a beautiful harmony. After some more rounds of animated interactions and photo ops, it was time to cover some more ground.
And it's vintage New York Furry.
My hands are off. They're so cool.
Permit, ice ring.
Returning back to the High Line, we march to 23rd Street.
I like that curve. I'm just the sheer number of
You know, it was around this point that I truly realized New York City does not give a damn. While I can't speak for everyone, the anxiety of this trip had finally started to cool down a little, and I began to appreciate it that much more.
Oh no! I didn't mean to, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Thank you.
What really stood out to me about this stop was that while some people stopped, took photos, asked questions, so many just kept walking as if seeing a crowd of furries was just one of those things that happened on their walks often. Paid no mind.
Having a bit of a time.
Dang it!
Going to Vegas is about money. It's about
We were about halfway through the FurWalk, and it was mind-boggling how beautiful it had been already.
How are you? Elevator.
Elevator?
There's an elevator right there.
You need help getting down. I can jump down, don't worry.
And so we took off once more to the next stop.
Oh my god, bird! Bird! Bird!
Bird. Oh, that's why there's congestion.
For a quick second.
Es muy difícil explicar.
At the very least. Fancy ass apartment downtown.
Welcome to the Overlook at 10th Avenue. It's an amphitheater-style box hovering over the road.
Yeah, on the brick building.
Yeah, 63.
9 liters.
While most of the observation decks in the city take you up and away into the sky, this one immerses you into the bustle of the city. The perfect spot to sit down, relax, and enjoy some bird watching, but with people. I wonder what the people down below were thinking.
just have a head. It's not a person dog. You're just hugging somebody. It's like it has a head.
Focus!
Our group, with some tag-alongs partway through, made the Overlook feel small. Nonetheless, everyone took a chance to sit down, cool off, and hydrate. And whether you're suiting or not, this was a day to drink lots and lots of water. Eventually, it was time to make our exit off the High Line for our last stop.
I mean, I guess like faster. Be amazing my last
Okay, second to last. You remember how I said it was a day to drink lots and lots of water? After a quick restroom break, we took over the streets.
I played this game before!
Hi, how are you? Good.
The flock swarmed to the edge of Manhattan to the Hudson River. Our last stop was just across this bridge, Little Island at Pier 55. We ran into one slight issue. You need a permit for a large gathering.
Oh man.
But with some kind deliberations, we were let across. Little Island was put in place to replace Pier 54, where the RMS Carpathia had brought in Titanic survivors in 1912, where the Lusitania set off for her final voyage. Little Island is another product of Thomas Heatherwick and landscape architect Signe Nielsen. It is an artificial island holding a public park on the water. It's got 35 different tree species, 65 shrub species, 270 grass and perennial species, over 350 species of flowers. It's early March. The grass just barely starting to green, but I can only imagine what it looks like in the summer. And we managed to crest one of the overlooks and realized we were not packing in, not today.
You're good.
A scramble for the view, a scramble for some photos, and then a swift departure to avoid chaos.
I've been dying to go to actual furry events. I usually go to like ones in like anime cons, but it doesn't beat like, you know, being on the home turf. New York City doesn't have that, so I went for FurWalks because usually all that hullabaloo is kind of far from me. Just being there and finally interacting in a furry-oriented event in New York City was actually refreshing and fun. It was a new experience, and finally I can go to a furry event that's geared by furries for furries. There's nothing wrong with, like, you know, events catering to furries. When it's actually focused on like furry stuff and furry community, like primarily, it's a different experience. So I'm kind of happy I actually got to experience it for the first time. It's also really weird because I see people like Zane, like Fane, Scoots, all that, literally in pictures, like on my social media. So seeing them in real life is also really funny and shocking too. Like, oh my god, you guys are real?
It was time to start wrapping up. So after the descent, it was time for the grand finale.
Okay,
That's pretty impressive. Like, you guys are real, but it's also, you know, pretty cool because these are actually people you can meet, be friends with, and when I go to cons, like when I go to Anthrocon, I can actually hang out with them and not be scared because, you know, I've talked to them, it's chill. Also, other friends I met, like Torin is so cool.
What a day it had been. I mean, I hadn't even had the time to properly take in everything that was happening. This was my second time in New York City and my third furry event, and I cannot properly describe how this trip made me feel. This trip was invigorating, empowering. It gave me a sense of belonging, and I know that sounds cliche. This being out in the city, passing by hundreds if not thousands of random people, surrounded by this crowd of genuine, funny, charming, passionate, oh my god, I loved everybody in this group.
Right on the other side, and they were supposed to come in here, but they didn't make it, so the Parthenia came in instead. They did. So it's a great trivia.
It's seriously difficult to put into words what this trip felt like, what the atmosphere was. It was absolutely incredible. I find it really hard to break out of the routine mundanity of day-to-day life. It was a day of entirely new experiences from start to finish. So to everyone I met that day, you were amazing. To everyone who's amping up for the next FurWalk, you are amazing. And to everyone that wants to be a part of this up-and-coming event, you are also amazing. And you can check the description to join in. I am completely out of words. I'm sitting in my car recording this, so this is Fad, signing off. Mwah.
What?
I am, both these cameras have SD cards, and you get all that stuff on this one.